with the three white men on trial for killing Ahmaud Arbery continues. The man who called police to report Arbery inside a house under construction testified today, and he gave jurors a new perspective of what happened moments before Arbery was chased down by these three white men. Watch this.
February 23rd, has been to the house multiple times.
And that's what I said on the call, but it might have been the heat of the moment. And, you know, I can't say who it was, that guy, or just somebody that looks like it's what I probably meant to say.
Okay, so you didn't know who that male was standing in the yard when you looked down Jones?
No.
But to you, he looked like the guy you had seen in the video.
Right.
And you knew that this guy who you saw in the video had actually been to the house not just that one time, but a bunch of times.
Right.
Again, you didn't know if it was the same guy, but it was enough to pique your interest to walk down Jones.
Yes, sir.
Okay. In fact, you tell the Glenn County non-emergency number he's been caught on the camera a bunch before at night. That's what you said in the call we just heard.
That's what I said, yeah.
Okay. It's kind of an ongoing thing out here.
It had been.
From that guy, or at least the guy you suspected.
I can't say it was that guy, just somebody that fit that description.
Okay. So you felt like this guy had been there before, you saw a video of it, and he's here again. Or at least you suspected he's here again.
I suppose.
Okay. And that's what you told the police?
Yeah.
He came down Jones and then went down Satilla.
Right.
Is that the same way that Mr. Arbery had run?
Yes.
What'd you find?
I saw a police car, saw Mr. Arbery laying on the street. I saw Miss Greg and Travis there.
What did you do?
I stopped and went home. As you know, it's kind of a shocking scene, you know.
And did you ride your bicycle back home?
I did.
Did Greg McMichael ever indicate to you at that time that he thought Ahmaud Arbery, the guy, had committed a crime that day?
No, ma'am.
So he didn't say the guy committed the crime of this?
No, ma'am.
And when he said to you that numerous occasions the guy has broken into a house over there, they've got him on video, what house was Greg McMichael talking about?
A house down the road that was under construction.
Okay, so he's not talking about his home at 230 Satilla Drive?
No, ma'am.
All right. While speaking with you, did Greg McMichael ever use the word burglary?
No, ma'am.
Did he ever use the word trespass?
No, ma'am.
Did he ever tell you while you're talking to him that he was attempting to make a citizen's arrest?
No, ma'am.
Did he ever even use the word arrest?
No, ma'am.
Did he ever even use the word detain?
No, ma'am.
All right. Did he ever tell you that, oh, we were going to detain this guy and wait for the police to come and investigate?
No, ma'am.
Did he ever tell you, oh, by the way, I saw Mr. Arbery throwing stuff out of his pockets as he ran?
No, ma'am.
All right, at this point, you've pivoted away. Do you spend some more time at the scene?
A little bit, yes.
All right. And what did you do then for the rest of the day? Did you stay at that scene or did you leave that scene?
No, ma'am. Once our investigative division.
What's his name? The one who owns this house.
Now, when you say the one who owns this house, what house are you referring to?
The house that was under construction a few doors down from his home.
Okay. And what was his answer to you?
I have no idea. Never met him. Never met him.
Okay. What is the next question that you asked Greg McMichael?
Did this guy break into a house today?
And what did Greg McMichael say in response from line 8 to line 13?
Well, that's just it. I don't know. That's what I told what's her name out there. I said, listen, you might want to go knock on doors down there because this guy had just done something that he was fleeing from. And I don't know, you know, you might have gone, he might have gone in somebody else's house.
Okay.
Or somebody's house.
Here's what's so crazy about this case, Robert, you hear, well, he did something. We don't know what he did.
Right.
We don't know what it took,
He was
but
right.
it was something. Why in the hell are you chasing somebody and using lethal force when there's no reason whatsoever? I think as this case goes every day, it's just, to me, now granted, you never know what these juries are going to do, but another nail in the coffin of what the hell were y'all chasing this black man for?
And look, Roland, I've tried cases against Lisa before, the prosecutor right there. Compare that cross-examination. And I want people at home, take that clip right there and compare it to the cross-examination in the Kyle Rittenhouse case to see the difference. Do you see how she had a list? She said the sentence, yes, no answer, no. She says the sentence, yes, no answer, yes. No narrative responses, no. Well, what did you have for breakfast that day? Well, why'd you let the guy hit you in the head? None of that. That is how you do a cross-examination. That is how you, they say, pin somebody to the cross on cross-examination. That's how you make sure that the point gets across. In the same way you came away with a completely different interpretation of guilt or innocence because of the way she conducted that cross-examination versus the Rittenhouse case is exactly what the juries will see in that case. If you had that same prosecutor down there in Glenn County, Georgia, from Cobb County, up there in Kenosha, Wisconsin, you will probably have a very different case taking place because that's how you're supposed to do it. And now, it's allowing people to see exactly why it's important to have competent prosecutors in these cases.
But Robert, I hate to do this to you. She was doing a direct of her police officer. But your point is correct.
The same point, same. So doing the direct,
Same
on the court,
point,
same idea.
Same
Take your
point.
list, go through it. Yeah.
Right, and she had a list that she was checking off, and you and I wouldn't even have a list. We'd probably have some cliff notes or words on a card or something. But you're absolutely right about that. But this is the bizarre. This is what the jury's never going to be able to get around. And for the defense, what were they chasing him for? He was seen at an unconstructed or a house under construction. He didn't take anything. Maybe he just liked to go to the house. I don't know. He ran and was jogging. And again, this is such white privilege and racism. If he were white, would they have taken off chasing him? No. They would have said, that's Jimbo jogging every other day or something. But because he's black and they don't see us as human beings, these good old boys get in the pickup truck with their shotguns because he's black, he's young, he's big, he's dangerous, and he had to do something because otherwise, why he running through our neighborhood like that? I mean, this is just blatant racism and white privilege. And so then this kid is dead. They shot him because they cornered him, and then he grabbed the shotgun in his defense. In all of these cases, there's this negative narrative, and the shooter is driving the negative narrative. And now they're on their defendants, and they want the jury to then cloak them with all of these protections to say it was self-defense, whether it's Rittenhouse or these good old boys on Arbery's case, that I had these protections. But the question is, but for you, the defendants, and but for your guns, right, the victims would not have been killed. There would be no incident. There would be no arrest. But for you and your reckless and criminal conduct. There is no defense to that if you're driving that negative criminal narrative. It'll be interesting to see what the juries do, but this is all negative behavior by the defendants that I don't think either one ought to be able to get around, Roland. I just really don't.
And Scott, to that point, I want people to understand this. Even if Ahmaud Arbery had been running down the street holding an AC unit and a big screen TV in the other hand, you still can't shoot him. He's still innocent too. He's still innocent. So even if the McMichaels had thought or had proof that he had committed a crime, guess what? Even under Georgia's old self-defense law, that is still not justification to use lethal force to stop a property crime. That's just not the way. Even the law has now been repealed, but even the old law, it wouldn't have been justified under that. So I think in this case, you never know what a jury is going to do. You don't like to call things early, but it's going to take a hell of a defense argument to get around some of these facts that have come out during the prosecution's case in chief.
Or better yet, watch this.
All right,
Let's say
folks.
you caught him and you didn't shoot him. What are you gonna do? You're gonna interrogate him? You're
gonna rope him
you
up?
don't have anything on him. He's running. He's jogging. You're gonna call the police, and then you're gonna try to convince the police that somehow he's in the wrong place. That's just crime. He was running while black. He was running in the wrong community, and that kid dead now. How you get your arms and head around that in 2021 as a black man in America? America's promise of freedom, justice, and equality, it's an unfulfilled promise by its own people, by white folks who have privilege and don't see us as human beings. It's an awful case, Roland. It's an awful case.
All right, folks, back to that Roland Martin Unfiltered video in just one moment.
Are the stars out tonight?
Alexa, play our favorite song again.
Okay.
It's time to be smart.
Roland Martin's doing this every day.
Oh, no punches!
Thank you, Roland Martin, for always giving voice to the issues.
Look for Roland Martin in the whirlwind, to quote Marcus Garvey again.
The video looks phenomenal, so I'm really excited to see it on my big screen.
Support this man, Black Media. He makes sure that our stories are told.
See, this difference between Black Star Network and Black-owned media and something like CNN.
I got to defer to the brilliance of Dr. Carr and to the brilliance of the Black Star Network.
I am rolling with Roland all the way. Honored to be on a show that you own. A black man owns the show.
Folks, Black Star Network is here.
I'm real revolutionary right now. Wow, Roland was amazing on there.
Stay black. I love y'all.
I can't commend you enough about this platform that you've created for us to be able to share who we are, what we're doing in the world, and the impact that we're having.
Let's be smart. Bring your eyeballs home.
You can't be black-owned media and be scared. You dig?